Hey everybody, it's Bust. It's our first trial of the 2.8 patch. This is trial number like 334 or so. We're getting up there, but let's see how it goes. So, with the patches, there were no changes. I guess nothing listed in the patch notes, and so we're still kind of up in the air as to what's going on. We do know that the previous lead dev for Expeditions has left Riot, and so we do want to thank Paul for the hard work that he put in there. Fantastic little game mode that we've been playing here for the past, I don't know, year and a half or so, and been uh, pretty excited with. It's tough to play, you know, 500 trials of something and not get tired of it at some point. So they've done a pretty good job as far as that goes. Um, and so, that seems to be why things are kind of slowing down and being a little out of shape with expeditions here these days. There's the new guy out there taking over, and so, I'd expect things to be a little bumpy for the next few weeks. I'm sure they'll get it all sorted out. I'm sure the replacement guy is more than competent, and so that is the highest of honors that can be bestowed by FTP Bust, is saying, "I'm sure you are competent." And so, but no, he's made mention that he's going to update the spreadsheet, and so that sounds good. And I'm sure that the regular updates in the patch notes will be coming back, and so they're just having a bit of a transition period over there at Riot. So yeah, we'll see how this shakes out in this first trial. As you can see over here at this flashy thing on the left, the new event has started. The dark star, the dark traffic. I don't know what it's called, but it has begun. And so let's dive on in. So this is a pretty easy Nasus take. As far as these champions go, Maokai, we talk frequently about Maokai. If you're a familiar user of the tier list, Maokai is not a very good build around champion. You can certainly try it, but more times than not, you'll probably just deck yourself before you're able to get his flippability going. Oh, excuse me. And he tends to play just like fantastically though as a support champion, like a Kalista or whoever. Basically, anyone wanting to play Blighted Caretakers or wanting to kill off Cursed Keepers is absolutely thrilled to have Maokai. This is a great supporting card pool, just not one that we like to start with. Over here with this Lysandra, I'm not going to pursue this. I can't recommend ever taking any of these. You really need to take, if you want this Frozen Thrall theme to work, you really have to take Lysandra, then take the Shurima champion in the second pack, and then try to get the countdowns really going. But all of that just is abysmally bad in Expedition. This needs more cards added to the themes, more releases in the future to really take advantage of this. And so that does put us back here to the Slayers Nasus. This is actually a fantastic card pool. We'll pull this up on the site and take a peek at it. And so if you're not familiar with the site, it's ftpbus.com. We're just going to be over on the Expedition Helper or the main page, however you like to find your way here. And, kind of as we mentioned, this is, the last time I'll mention it until we get actual updates out there. But I keep the Expedition Helper updated as far as the cards are concerned by what Riot releases in that spreadsheet. And so if you click on token attacks, there's not anything listed here. It's got the wrong the wrong thing. But without having that info from Riot, I don't really feel confident in updating these, and so I've just been putting it off until the data came out. I was hoping that they would release all of the patch notes with 2.8, but we haven't got them yet, and so I think I'm just going to take the work that Pedro J put out there to uh, uh, take note of the new cards in each of the buckets and just kind of run with that until the spreadsheet's updated. But for all intents and purposes here with Nasus, this shouldn't be a big deal. And so, with Nasus, he pairs up with Kindred, and there's two things going on here. He's either taking advantage of the Slay theme, which is, doing something to kill a unit, whether or not it's combat, or playing Rite of Calling to kill one of your own units, or playing, Vengeance on your opponent's unit, getting some kind of value out of Slays. And so you'll see Nasus here. You've got Kindred and Shadow Isles. You have various cards like Bakai Reaper that get a bonus when you get a Slay. It's kind of a sub theme. We don't really pursue it in earnest. Just killing your opponent's unit is great, but the Slay mechanic on its own, not something that big of a deal. The way you're supposed to pursue it here, though, what the big deal is this package of Exhaust, Rockhopper, and Ruthless Predator. They have the Shurima Vulnerable package here in Slayers Nasus, which we will be looking to take full advantage of. The second thing Nasus tries to do is this Fearsome theme. This isn't like really fleshed out at this point. I say it will be fleshed out at some point in the future, but as you can see through some of these cards, like Nasus has Fearsome, Bakai Reaper has Fearsome. There's a bunch of Shadow Isles cards that have Fearsome, and then you have this negative attack thing. So you don't really do it with Exhaust, but if you look at a card, say like Rite of Dominance, or if you take Nasus's Flip that gives all of your opponents negative attack, that can be your means to get in some really big Fearsome attacks to where your opponent can't block anything. I guess we also have Raz Bloodmane down here, really shrinking up the old opposing team and giving everything Fearsome. So, we'll see how this shapes up. Either, without seeing what shows up next, I am either going to want to be taking the Shadow Isles pack so that we can try to get, kind of the Fearsome theme going on, or I would look to be taking a Demacia pack so we could try to get into the Challenger style deck. And so I do think that we're going to be taking this Kalista here. Let me take a quick peek at these other card pools. Like, as far as Draven goes, he does play well with the Vulnerable theme. We could get a pretty good Draven going. But that's going to be the only means for us to get quick attacks. So he would be okay. This Lulu I would not be super excited about. Not a whole lot of combos that we could get going here. This would basically just be like, hey, can we get a whole bunch of young witches and pair them up with vulnerables, which I don't think is going to be too strong of a theme. And so we will look to just take the Shadow Isles champion here. The big thing that we can try and pull off with Shadow Isles and Nasus is playing with Atrocity. If you're not familiar with this in Constructed, you can get, Nasus pretty easily up to a 10-10 or a 12-12, and he's going to flip and have Spell Shield. Very easy just to one-shot your opponent with an Atrocity. And so you get those kind of combos. You do get to do things like give your opponent's unit vulnerable, then hook it with a Cursed Keeper. And so we can take advantage of some of the slays here as well. We'll take a quick peek at this Kalista pool. We would rather be in Redemption, but it's not going to make a big enough difference. Where are you at? Kalista and Afterlife. And so, the thing with the Afterlife card pool is it does have like the Mistwraith themes in it. We did just start with one Mistwraith. We're probably not going to try and pursue it here, but we could. As far as the Slayers themes go, we do want to stack up as many Cursed Keepers, as many Hapless Aristocrats, and as many Warden's Praise as we can. Having these sacrifice outlets on the board is ultimately super important. And then having the means to kill them off by like Chronicler of Ruin or Rite of Calling will just kind of come throughout the draft without putting too much work into it. And so the way I'll end up tearing this off is if like the next pack or the fourth pick has a Mistwraith in it, then we'll have to like heavily consider going Mistwraiths. Otherwise, we're going to try to go to this like kill your own units kind of theme. And if that's where we end up, we need to really focus on the early game sacrificable units. Or last but not least, we could focus on Fearsomes. We do already have a Fearsome and Mistwraith and a Fearsome and Merciless Hunter. I guess a Fearsome and Nasus as well. And so that will be kind of our third choice as to what to take. But with this is like a super easy pack. Like Merciless Hunter is just a monster, extremely, extremely powerful card. Plays to the Fearsomes, plays to the Slayers, and then we get a sacrificable unit. This is just everything we could ask for here. This is a fantastic start. Okay, so interesting little set. We're getting the option to chase after Mistwraiths, which I don't think we want to do. I think our deck is good enough to not need to pursue that. Okay, so yeah, I think we can avoid Risen Mists. So the thing we have here is Ruin Runner Rite of Calling is pretty good. Ruin Runner is going to just be kind of our preferred top end here. Neither of these factions has good top end. And if we pick up, like a couple Ruin Runners, then we don't have to take any more Nasuses, so we can just take 3 Kalistas. And so kind of on point with this. Frenzied Skitterer plays fantastically to these themes as well, though. As you can see, we're kind of getting this fearsome deck together, and it's just another way to give all of your opponents negative attack. But I think I want to really focus on taking the top end here because it's just not super common. This is a common card, yes, but good late game out of these factions is pretty tough to find. Okay, and here we're not going to hit the allegiances with Golden Ambassador. We're going to be a pretty evenly mixed deck by the time we get to the end of it, so we could ignore this. Gluttony isn't a real card. This is just hot garbage, and so let's take the Exhaust and the Spirit Journey. Okay. So this will finish up our top end package. If we see something like a Rasa or a Commander Ladros, we might consider it. But as far as these cards are concerned, the 2 Ruin Runners and the Nasus should be enough top end for us here. Then it's always reasonable to have a Spirit Fire, especially given that we're in this this Azir heavy format right now. Now, I didn't mention it earlier. Typically, at the end, the way the new cards work is the new faction or the new cards will be released. Riot puts the bonus on there to make the cards show up more frequently. It's like 300% more frequently. And then at the end of the first patch, where we are now, it should just be at 100% bonus. So we shouldn't be seeing nearly as much Azir Irelia as we were in the past. Shouldn't be seeing nearly as much Malphite or as much landmark-based decks either. And so just wanted to quickly call that out while we take the Spirit Fire. I could see an argument for picking up multiples of these if there's a whole bunch of Azir Irelia running around, but not the case anymore. But down here, we've got this Cursed Keeper Stalking Shadows. Not a bad little pickup. Okay, the hits keep coming. So I would love to pick this Fading Icon Black Spear, but Merciless Hunter is just way too good of a card to be passing up. I'll be happy to have maybe up to 4 of those. I don't know if I'm happy to pick up 5, but 4 is definitely a good number. And okay, looking good. I mean, we got another one of these Premier 2-drops with a big removal spell. Also has Fearsome. Looking pretty good. That does kind of fill in our spot of needing to find a Vengeance. Still okay with getting a Vengeance and putting it in our deck. Just kind of matters how things fall out here. I feel good enough skipping on this Crumble because we're picking up a removal in the Rampaging Bakai, which is also paired up with one of these premier early game sacrificable units. Looking good. All of them. All the sacrificable units. Oh, so much Fading Icon. Okay. Let's slow it down now. We got to make a decision. And so as far as these go, I mean, the Crocolith is garbage. The Chimera is garbage. The Weight of Judgment I don't really like. We are kind of light on removal at this point, but we do have a ton of vulnerables. So we have 2 Rockhoppers, 3 Merciless Hunters. We have the Spirit Fire, sorta kinda removal, interactiveness in the Spirit Journey. So I think we're okay to not be taking Bakai Weight of Judgment and just take the really mediocre removal in the Grasp, because it's got a Cursed Keeper with it. Okay, so I was immediately going to take the Rite of Calling, but then I saw this Rite of Calling over here with the Rockhopper. This is looking pretty good. Definitely on point. And so we do need to pick up some sacrifice cards. We don't really have too many at this point other than Rite of Calling, but that shouldn't be too tough to do. And here's Siphoning Strike is a very easy take. Really fills in the gaps in our removals, our lack of removal, I should say. And last but not least, what do we think here? Do we want to trade out a Cursed Keeper for a Siphoning Strike? You could probably pretty easily do that. We have 5 Fighting Icons. That's a pretty sick number of Fading Icons. And so just pick up the big removal spell. So okay, so yeah, I mean, we didn't see any. Well, here, let me do this real quick. Let me go and make something premium, and then we can we can go and talk about that. This is time for Merciless Hunter to finally get the premium treatment. I know I've been waiting to do this. It's been a while since I kept seeing Merciless Hunter on the list and knowing I kept passing over her for the old premium treatment, and this is finally the deck to turn her premium and really take full advantage of the card. Okay, so yeah, as far as this deck goes, we're going to look to build around Kalista. The big thing with Kalista is Blighted Caretakers. We didn't see any. That's fine. I would say by the time we get to the end of the draft, we'll have seen at least 1 or 2 Blighted Caretakers we can pick up. The other thing, we didn't see any Atrocities, which is kind of a pain. We would like to have 1 Atrocity. We'll see how that shapes up. Otherwise, things are looking pretty good here. I would like to pick up maybe a Spirit Leech. We have a lot of a lot of the sacrificable units, but not so much in the way of slay cards, ways to sacrifice them off. But I think that's fixable. Oh, we're looking good. I think this is good spot to be in. And this gets a touch awkward here with this sequencing. Let's try this. Let's Cursed Keeper. Because it just gets weird if we want to play Merciless Hunter this turn. Kalista. Okay. Maybe he just doesn't have a 3-attack unit, so let's get Kalista down first. Okay. Make all this work out. Get to rock hopper one of his next plays. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Works for me. So then we can get the Merciless Hunter going next turn. Can we ever line this up to where, like, we've got this activated, right? So next turn, if we say like play Merciless Hunter and Spirit Journey and flip our Kalista, we bank. Okay, yeah, I'm on board with this. With Merciless Hunter here, we can Spirit Journey our Cursed Keeper, so that'll get us a Slay. And we can just run these into 2 units. Now, how does that change things? We're just gonna have 3, 4, 5. We can just save the Spirit Journey for next turn. Or more likely, we'll just play a Spirit Fire next turn. Or no, this only takes us to 2 attack. Not quite enough. This is still work out just fine. This squad's getting a little bit bigger than my squad. Yeah, that just can't be worth it, right? Does this Spirit Fire ever... doesn't have the little circle on it, so this should eat through a spell shield, right? Alright. Nope. I was pretty confident that that was going to work. That's what we get for our confidence. I guess I should have known a spell would have gotten stopped by a spell shield, but such a weird thing to try to understand. Oh god, he's got an Aurelian Solus. Okay. Let's just start with the fading icon. We gotta end this quick. There's no way we're beating an Aurelian Soul. I was hoping this shaped up a little bit better to where we could just like hook whatever his next unit was. But our board is kind of fucked up right now. I was counting on that Spirit Fire to actually work.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda? History forgets, but the Black Rose remembers. Yes. She'll be right out. I cannot go.
Excuse me. So I get... Oh, it comes in on Cursed Keeper. Interesting. Okay. That's the block I was expecting. Was the dragon onto the 3/1. Gotta just chunk this damage in, though. Ooh, he's dropping LeBlanc, huh? I have to imagine he would want to take this game slow if he's got Aurelian Soul in his hand. Oh, the Merciless Hunters. We're ready for a big open next turn. That's suspect. We can't be losing units now though. We need to take advantage of us being wider than him. So if he wants to play, I don't know, 8-cost unit, if he wants to play Captain Farron here, then we can just jam right through. Losing a unit to like a Whirling Death or a just a combat trick is pretty catastrophic at that spot.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
Okay. Let's see, we're gonna do one of these, some of this, a little bit of that. That's it. Gotta cycle our dude out of combat. I'd prefer to be able to hit his guy, so that we get that full amount of damage through, but it's not the way this is gonna work out. As you can see, he's gonna play a big dude. He's gonna have like an atrocity. He's gonna have like an Aurelian Soul next turn. This is where having atrocity is the real deal. That's not an Aurelian Soul. Okay. Maybe should have gone for a Marauder. It's a little bit safer if he has another Targon shield. So I have to assume he just has another unit here.
You must know me, little one. You must. Come on, boys.
You're dead meat.
Okay, so this is again a pretty abysmal. If he has a trick, but what happens if he doesn't? Like, we're only just getting in for a point of damage next turn. Okay, gotta hit something. Not counting on this to do a whole lot, but maybe we'll draw a Nasus at some point. Yeah, big fucking Nasus. Okay. Anything big, a Nasus, an Ether Fiend, Rampaging Bakai would be okay-ish. Exactly, looking for exhausts. I think we're just dead now. Alright. So yeah, I mean, we messed up that Spirit Fire. I still can't for the life of me understand how Spell Shield actually works. I get that, we were playing a spell, and it makes sense that the Spell Shield shouldn't work there, but it's just like a comedy of errors as far as trying to understand how Spell Shields work. You think that, like, I get that with that one, it makes sense. Like, that in my head is what a Spell Shield should do. But it's like I've also kind of ingrained in my head that Spell Shields only stop it if it has a skill circle, and so it's just abysmal. Like my common really huge gripe with Spell Shield is, say, comparing a Leona stun, which has the circle on it, the skill thing, so it gets blocked by Spell Shield. But if you look at like the Eye of Rahurak, which does not have the circle on it, does not get blocked by Spell Shield. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to understand that if you're new to the game? So it's one of the things I find ultimately pretty frustrating. I know I had it in my head that like that wasn't gonna work, that we weren't gonna be able to just Spirit Fire that unit with Spell Shield, but it's just like I've gotten myself like so in my head about trying to understand how this stupid ability works that it's finally just come back to me the other direction. Rockbear, cool. That's not a. I was ultimately worried about him hitting a Rockhopper here, which is pretty awkward, and us investing in this 4/3 and then him just giving it vulnerable. But this is good. It's a Azir Sivir. So I guess the Rock Bears live in the Sivir pool. That's the way you're supposed to hit Reputation.
We love it when
Sure.
they run.
This is still safe. The only card he could hook our Kalista with is a Exhaust. So now he has to decide if he wants to put ticks onto Escaped Abomination.
That's right. Run!
Alright. Guess he had the Exhaust.
If it's made of sand, I can ride it.
Still think we're fine. What you got, my man? What you got? Now, as far as these cards go, sure. As to the best I can remember with the card pools, the Exhaust only lives in Slayers, and it only lives in Challenger. It doesn't live in either the Azir or the Sivir pool. I guess it may, if this was like a tokens attack Azir, it might live in that one, but I don't think that's super likely. Of course, as far as we could tell, there's only 2 commons in the Azir pool, and it was the both of the cards that generate Doomkeepers.
It's just waiting to be found.
They forgot, but you cannot.
Some kind of good quick attack challenge onto our Abomination. Okay, let's see if we can't take some of this down now.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
No skill circle. goes through spell shield. Play exhaust does not work. It's just it's so fundamentally
How's the market today, Karima?
Full of
So
heavy
strange.
purses and empty heads.
all right. So can we take down his whole team here? We're gonna send we're doing this. It's hard for him to have any cards that matter. He could have like a shaped stone that would be ultimately awkward. This. Let's attack with this. Don't think we need to exhaust either of these. Okay.
Quit struggling.
We'll see if he can't say like lucky find onto Profiteer and then pick a quick attack or something, and then we get to pop it with the Grasp of the Undying. That would be cool. And do it the other way. Sure. What you got? The +2 health. Okay. Oof.
My treasure.
This should be fairly decent. Still slightly worried, but
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
A life for a memory.
really wish we had that atrocity. That would make me feel so much safer against a lot of this.
See what we see, soldier.
Okay. Curious if he attacks here. Like, with him adding Doomkeeper, it's a little bit safer, but we're getting to spots to where
Desert by my side.
That's right. Run!
we could have perhaps lethaled him. and our health is high. We can just take this damage and not worry about our Ether Fiend. So he's out of cards. So the thing we can also look to do is play Fading Icon. Or we can just open kill him, right? Just to attack. Good for 10.
We'll get our licks in.
Alright. Worried about that. Our deck is too good to be goose egging. Alright, found me an atrocity, found me some blighted caretakers. Okay, so we're taking the Kalista. Not like really amped about these cards. The Rekindler here is fine. Wraith Callers don't really want. It's weird that we have to see these. They're making an appearance when we just don't want it. But we can always consider just switching to Kindred. But I'd rather be stacking Kalistas here, I think. And then I don't want these Nasus cards. So welcome to the squad, Kalista. Hopefully that'll help the Blighted Caretakers show up. Let's see if we've fixed everything. All of our problems are gone. Okay, so I said we shouldn't be seeing as much Azir or landmark decks, but what do I know? This could just be a Yasuo build around that was trying to go for like the stun landmarks and such.
Sun's beneath me.
Start with Rockhopper. I'm not convinced that we're going to get a whole lot out of this one, but let's go ahead and get things moving. I don't think this is worth a clear when we have the Merciless Hunter. We can just start getting good attacks where we do this thing to where we say like play Kalista next turn, then on our turn 4 play Merciless Hunter, vulnerable something different like Psy Scout, and then we just have value attacks across the board. Looks pretty good.
I'll check for their side.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Such premium. Mind has probably just been blown by how premium our Kalistas are.
We love it when they run.
What you got, my dude? The Rockhopper?
Down, you crazy boy.
Okay. Are we willing to just risk our Kalista here? Probably not.
Get our licks in.
Gonna catch the
So let's just give it one of these. Especially now that like we've picked up the Rekindler. This flipped Kalista represents a whole lot of value. So we'll give up our 1 unit, protect Kalista's health. Landmark, absolutely. The old Diaz, huh?
I can learn from watching you.
Kind of hoping that he wants to just come in for the free hook on our prey, so then we can level up Kalista with the Rite of Calling. Let's see, maybe that was too much of an ask, but I can't imagine he ever really wants to attack here otherwise.
Sweep the leg.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess there's like a certain point where you just have to give up on it and say, well, his Kalista's gonna flip, there's nothing I can do about it. But... okay.
The Rose shall find their vengeance.
And we're just gonna have to open here, right? I think it's fine. We start clearing out his board. Oh,
Sand
I like it less and less. Let's get a big boy down. If we're just getting like a bunch of trades across the board and then Kalista's doing something fun, I think that's pretty okay. He's just going to get blasted as far as damage is concerned here. Not super worried about him having like, oh yeah, these cards just do not matter. It's not where you want to be playing a Sand Swept Tomb. Then should have. I'm not quite sure how this would work out if our opponent just said, "Okay, I'm not blocking anything," and then we have the Roiling Sands. Oh, this Rockhopper would die. I was gonna say if we had a full attack and then got a Roiling Sands. What happens when the units move back to your bench?
My board!
Doesn't matter here. Things are looking good. I have to imagine we're just gonna get to doing some killing them next turn. Oh, my Kalista? Bro, that's not cool. Not cool.
A life for a memory.
Okay.
hunt it down.
Still in a pretty good spot. We're kind of coin flipping to hit a Kalista with this Rite of Calling. But I don't want to just lose the mana. Would we rather just do this now? No, let's give it a turn. But yeah, Ancient Preparations doesn't matter. Oh, do it that way. The other way to just get your Kalista back. This one's done.
They are my people, and I am theirs.
The
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
the reverse. You gotta say, if you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna make you watch this animation.
You're ruining everything. Excuse me. You're ruining everything.
Got him. We should have hooked something with the Rekindler, but we should have hooked a 6/4 with the Rekindler, but I got excited, you know. It's always good to get excited about the game. More important than proper play. So let's see, let's take a peek here. Oh, these trades all suck. Like, why can't we trade Wraithcaller for Mask Mother or something? But I think Vengeance is just too important to have a copy of. Like, we don't have any crumbles. We just have the one Ether Fiend. I've really been itching to have one Vengeance. So, sucks to lose the Exhaust, but we have, I think we have 2 Rockhoppers and 3 Merciless Hunters. So we got plenty of ways to distribute Vulnerable other than just Exhaust. I'd love to have it, but I think the single copy of Vengeance is just too important to pass up. What up, Shades? Alright, so we can hang on to Kalista, get rid of the rest of this. Kill for some Blighted Caretaker.
Ours is the one true light. Follow the horizon.
Getting that aggro start. Saying what up, here's my Leona. Ready to daybreak.
Please! Oh, would you look at this place?
I must be known.
I think this is, well, this is awkward in the sense that if we want to get our Kalista on board, then we have to do like really weird stuff as far as our curve is concerned in Roiling Sands. Let's just go ahead and try to slam some stuff in here. What happens if his play is just like Merciless Hunter? Like, I want to add Cursed Keeper here. I mean, adding Fading Icon is pretty similar. Should still line us up with a pretty decent turn next turn if we want a Merciless Hunter as Rockhopper and then trade our Cursed Keeper into it.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
It's weird. I notice this. You guess what I'm saying when oh, it went away. There it goes. It has the nameplate at the top of the card sometimes, right? Like it doesn't have here. Yeah, it's got the nameplate. Like Curse Keeper doesn't have a nameplate. Prey doesn't have a nameplate. Why does Merciless Hunter have a nameplate?
Hunt down.
What is your deal, Riot? Let us know. Please tell.
Gonna find a gift
Sure.
for Renekton, right, Arda?
Alright, so we got all the tools to really get this Kalista going now. Losing some units is fine.
We'll get our licks in.
We ever just let this happen? I'd probably rather save Spirit's Journey for our Kalista. That's Slay number 3. We're one Slay away from getting this Rampaging Bakai going as well. So that seems good. Let's see what happens if we Spirit Fire as Fused Firebrand. Fuck. Fuck, I didn't see that one coming.
They forgot. But you cannot. I must be known.
Dang. I don't know if we can come back from that. Definitely didn't see the Bakai coming.
Leave it be.
Alright. I think we're still fine.
The soul wears away like grains of sand.
I was not shown mercy. I will not grant it.
Get that out of here. Your hooks are no good anymore. So not super strong, but we still have a lot of raw power in our deck as well. So it's kind of awkward playing against all these dragons today. But I think we're in a pretty good spot. He doesn't seem to have any kind of combat tricks.
Arda's gonna
So-
make a meal of them.
We get something good going
That's
here.
right. Run!
Sure.
Taken. We love it when they run.
Everybody says, "What up? Watch me play Merciless Hunters today." So you know what a good card is? Merciless Hunter is a good card. What a bonkers decision to make. So weird. Like it would make sense if it was like just the fearsome or just the give vulnerable. It could probably be like a 3/3 that gives out vulnerable and still be fair. But all right, so let's see who draws theirs Nasus first. I think that's what this is looking like. It's gonna come down to. Stalking Shadows was a big find. This is now being like, man, I wish we had some Spirit Leeches. they would be looking pretty hot right about now. Big plus attack, sure. Got to boom us. Oh, whoa! Bring that thunder. We want to prevent a point of damage. These things, let's be real, these things aren't doing anything else the rest of the game. Let's go ahead and prevent a point of damage. That's the one I was hoping would show up. Oh, man. Get him.
And an end.
Alright, alright. I think we might have tipped the scales in our favor, though.
Pride was my end.
Sand spinner, sure.
As it will be yours.
And am I wrong in thinking that we can Spirit's Journey our Ether Fiend to have Ephemeral go away? Kill a unit, then revive it?
Only human.
I've been wrong before. It's kind of the ongoing theme as far as this trials go. But I guess we Oracle's Eye that and see what happens? Hanging on to a 6-cost unit at this stage of the game is probably fairly important. Looks like it comes back and doesn't have Ephemeral. Okay. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. Alright, there's our way to get a Nasus.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
Okay.
Sunlight blinds.
I'm just gonna spend the mana crystal here. Destroy one of your mana gems. There we go. There's the dog. Say woof woof, motherfucker.
Stand and fight.
Betrayal buried Shurima. Hope revived it.
All right, then we gotta open.
All unmeasured.
Can't let Nasus get hit with like sunbursts or anything. He needs to get a hit in and get a spell shield on. Uh-oh, what's this? Quicksand? We care about that? Still 10 attack. If we get a Slay, are we ever lethal? No, he won't flip until... Okay, that's fine. Still going to go ahead and grasp this Leona. That should be good for an additional point of damage, but we're going to be... We're not going to flip until after the hit.
The wheel never
That was weird.
stops.
He picked up his spell shield and stuff before he actually hit. I guess that's probably just an animation thing. Alright, fam, we're looking good. Good.
Forward in the
Got
name
it.
of the Solari.
We'll wait. We're gonna kill some units, but let's see if we can't get a little bit better than. See if we can't just get everything. Okay. Oof. Did we do it? Did we get there?
All
Boom.
measured.
Woof woof. There it is. Game shades. All right. Right.
Patience
Moving it
and
on.
fortitude outlast all things.
Let's see. We're just picking up more Kalistas here. Do have to stop and consider Sanctum Conservator. This is kind of like a champion. It's like you just play it and win the game. You know, our Nasus, we did have the 13 slays that game. So, as you can imagine, playing a unit that kills all of your opposing followers and then summons an additional 8/8 copy tends to just win you the game. And it's got an Everglade Collector over here. It's kind of a tempting pile to take with the Kindred. But I think it's just too good. Like, the kind of, like, grand scheme of things that I want to have happening here are just, like, pick up Everglade Collectors. And I think Kalista is the path that makes that happen. As far as having the Collector show up in trade picks. So, we'll see if that's how this actually plays out, but... I do like the stack. Just she flips into such a powerful card in Black Spear. It's a lot of nice things going on there. definitely see an argument for picking up that Kindred, though. The other one was kind of like meh. Nope, it wasn't like super good. But that having that Sanctum Conservator is definitely enough to make you take pause. Bad start. Yoga Me Wizard or Yo Game Wizard. Which one is it? Is it Yoga and then Me and then Wizard, or Yo and then Game Wizard? I'm just gonna assume he's a Yoga Wizard. He's out there doing all his stretches before the game. Not a bad way to do it. Bad way to do it. Start getting old like old FTP bust and your joints hurt, and he just said, man, I should have stretched more in my 20s. I should not have just gone to the gym 5 days a week and not stretched ever. But all right, moving forward. That's my life struggle now, but maybe not. Maybe it won't always be the case. So with this, I think we just want to start with Cursed Keeper. We're just going to take a point of damage. And this puts us in a spot to where we can play Kalista next turn and start watching our Slays. We do, sort of run the risk of him playing a Make It Rain, and like when we try to Rite of Calling, but I would say he's probably just going to play some kind of unit here. He does have the mana to do it. Kill an ally, draw a champion. Let's see. Cool. Good chance that he has like a brittle steel here. We'll just assume no combat trick then. If he had the brittle steel or an elixir of iron, he would have just snapped it off. So maybe we can get like a fading icon and a good black spear this turn. Dead unit number 2. Gonna give us that little nugget. Get his allegiance. That kind of sucks for us. Now he's risking flipping our Kalista if he wants to bring this Thunder in. Here, I'm just going to open. I want to get these big boys in, and then just have access to Black Spear after this combat.
Who goes there?
And this is always pretty important with Kalista. She gets to flip. She won't start getting these attacks in until next turn, but if eventually has a way to kill her, then the Rekindler will bring her back flipped. Incredibly important. Not quite the Black Spear target I was looking for, so let's just get the Ruin Runner down.
You're moving or you're dead. Destruction feeds my fire.
Okay. Blocks aren't great. Okay, that's a fact. But I think we can do this. We can try and Black Spear. We can take the damage from this thing. We can add Cursed Keeper and just have the unit come down because Ember Maiden will kill it. I think this is fine. Oh, brutal. I guess we still kill the Ruthless Raider, but okay, that's not as bad as I thought.
Pillage and burn.
Okay.
Breathe
How
it.
big are you, my man? What do your stats look like, Nasus? 6'6"? Ooh, a Nasus Strike. It's always kind of scary to just throw Nasus Strikes into these decks with Frostbites, but he hasn't played a Frostbite up to this point. So let's see what we can do.
It was right on my tail.
Okay. Do we at least play it like a little safe and try to pop the bird, or do we just go ham onto the Raider? Let's just play it safe. Champs, he could pick up any of his champions off of this Babbling Bjerg. Suspect that'll be coming up soon. from my 4 attack units.
They're coming! Hide!
Only a scratch.
Big dog's ready to come down as well. Say, I'll block a Trindamere. That's it? An 8/8? Oh man. Oh man, here's a real sized unit. So much size. Uh-oh. What's this? Alright, that's fine. We're out here talking about how much size our units has. Gotta make sure opponent doesn't do anything too nasty. That Kalista right back with the Rekindler.
We each died, then found home.
Say what up to my stats. We're not guaranteed lethal here, but I mean he's gonna have to block, find another blocker.
Our strength is yours.
I will find someone.
Coming in like this. If he blocks our 4/4, our 7/6, and our 10/10, the 7/6 answers the Ruin Runner. We still have 7 over here on the left. It's like a 0 by my count. It's my favorite view of the Oracle's Eye. When your opponent shows up as 0. Got him. Nice. Not a bad Rekindler, adding 8 plus 13, 21, and then summoning a 10 stat unit for the 31 stats out of nowhere. Not bad, my man. Not bad. Alright, still not found any Blighted Caretakers. Here, we just got to get the Phantom Prikester out of our deck. This card's garbage. So, at least picking up another sort of removal spell feels pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, Tom Kench, you are not a common foe these days. Something like this should look good with keeping the Fading Icon Merciless Hunter. I don't think the 4-cost cards are quite worth it. Okay, Rite of Calling's a nice pickup. Always happy to have Vengeance against Tom Kench. His Bane. Spend all the cards giving him 15 health, and then you just hit him with a Vengeance. The damages have begun. The opponent gets first blood. Wait, we can get back to this play. We've been seeing this turn up quite a bit. Kill an ally? There's so much premium. Stalking Shadows is rare. I guess that makes sense. I don't think he has a way to interact with this. The thing I'm curious about, I would almost be interested in seeing opponent play Harpoon. If you're not familiar with it, Bilgewater got a 6th cost common that does 5 damage to a unit, and then it plunders down to 3 mana, which I think is just fantastic at 6 mana. It's almost a Sunburst, but they have the chance to play it for spell mana only. It's a pretty good deal. But
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
with the not really being sure if any of the new cards were actually added to Expedition. I'd like to see it just to confirm if the new cards were added in the 2-week patch.
I will open.
What a shame for you!
It just seems outstanding for us. Cannot imagine things being worse for our opponent.
Wrap 'em up tight.
Let's do it. Let's get the bird in there. You're not a bird, are you? Some kind of butterfly-looking thing. What is this? A sprite? Somebody will let me know what this is. It's not a butterfly. It's not a bird. It's got some kind of weird head on it, but it's got these fairy antennas. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's questionable what type of creature this is. Okay, so we're gonna want to just save up a vengeance for Tom Kench. So it's like, oh, okay, easy game. He's probably stream sniping over there. Good stuff, good stuff. Moving right along. What do we have? Never trading out our Ruin Runners. Don't want Golden Ambassadors. Our Allegiance is too bad. And then 2 Rite of Callings is fine. This is one of these cards I'm usually kind of like on the fence about, you know, kind of depending on the makeup of our deck if I want them or not. Given that we have, you know, the 7 early game sacrifice activators, and then the only ways we have to take advantage of the praise and the Rite of Calling, the Vengeance. I'm kind of happy to just hang on to these to make sure we can use them. So we'll go ahead and just skip this trade. Alright, rolling right along. Final battle, let's do it. Oh man, still want that atrocity, still want those blighted caretakers, but otherwise, we're looking good here. I like it when things are looking good here. Let's see. Man, it's getting fucking hot out here. I had to stop the recording and go turn on a fan. Fucking hot in Kansas City. It's not a good sign when we start saying this stuff. And are we in May? Not even July yet. One of my favorite quotes of all time. There's the baseball player Ichiro Suzuki, and it's like some weird interview with like Bob Costas from like the late 2000s. I guess that's what we call it when it's like, I think it was like 2005, 2006. So they're asking him, they're like, Ichiro, what's your favorite American expression? And then it's like he starts getting embarrassed and he's like, Kansas City in August is hotter than 2 rats fucking in a wool sock. he just starts to lose it. Everybody starts cracking up. It's good stuff. It's pretty spot on analysis of this wonderful city that we live in out here. It's just fucking hot as hell. But back to the game. We've got to try and shut down this Teemo. Looks like the ways that we can do it here is just going to be a Merciless Hunter. And so, as we typically play against the Teemo decks, we look to just prevent as much damage as we can. So I'm more than happy to just trade away these Fading Icons into whatever Ground Bros that he has. And then we'll do everything we can to just prevent damage. If he gets us down to like 10 before he's able to like be in stop attacking mode, like my units are worse than your units, then we're probably doing pretty good, or pretty bad. Whoa, are you really attacking with that? Oh, okay, I got excited. But again, I'd be super happy just come in here and block all this stuff. Okay, that's good. See how we can do this. I'd like to snap off a Nasus strike, but it really depends on if he spins down below Mystic Shot range. So if he plays like a 3-cost card or something, then we'll probably just not full with it until next turn. Then here it's just going to be too awkward to try and pull it off. So we'll take the Cursed Keeper hook onto Eager Apprentice, attack with everything else, take trades wherever he'll give us, and then try and pop this off a turn or two from now. It's really not that bad if he just has the one, and he's playing all these mushroom clouds for 8 damage. If he gets a second one down and starts playing them for 11 puff caps, it's a bit of a pain. Say he'll hang on to this one and just go down to the 3 spell mana. Oh, what do I know? What do I know, team?
I cannot go. She'll be right out.
I'm a peddler, not a
Oh,
meddler.
My board!
he like has to have a Teemo here, right? But why else would you go all in with those puff caps if your play here isn't Teemo? Okay, I'll take this one slow. I still worry about Teemo. Okay, that's not a thing anymore. So let's get the rest of our squad going. Okay. I was ultimately worried about get excited here, but a lot of ways for this to go wrong. They tend to have a lot of burn spells, so I didn't want to invest a Nasus strike into a gotcha. That's an abysmal feeling. So, we'll just pick up Rider Calling. So, this one's tough. Like, I think the way I want to go about this is to just play Wraithcaller. I'm gonna sacrifice a mana crystal and hope that we hit Kalista. Kill, no, where you at? Destroy a mana gem. Again, much like that previous turn where we don't want the Nasus strike to get counterspelled. I don't want this to get counterspelled by a a Victor Death Ray onto our 1 cost prey.
Action speaks for itself. We shall pierce their treasonous hearts. Time must be known.
Kalista can attack into this. If she gets a block with like a 3 attack unit and eats a Mystic Shot, then that's still pretty good for us. She's not gonna flip this game.
Fire beware.
Okay. Good. Buff cap's barely over a damage a turn. Still got an answer to Teemo. This is just fine.
Would you look at this place?
The sunbrock got me good.
Alright, we gave up on our mana, so hopefully hopefully this isn't a problem.
Oh, if
That'll work, okay.
mushrooms could talk.
Ah. It was like our one way we could lose this game. I mean, I guess we didn't have to add this stuff to the board. That's completely on us taking this Teemo hit, but he got us. He got us good. Well done, Verten Da 0 hour. This is gonna get us. We're gonna have 60 puff caps. He's playing this Mushroom Cloud. Damn, it's brutal. Should only be like the 2 damage a turn Teemo, so hopefully it's not that bad. But
Runaway bite.
oh, he's gonna let us flip our Kalista? No way he attacks with anything that isn't Teemo. No way.
They grow up so fast.
Adventure starts with mushrooms.
6, yeah. Alright, well, let's just like 3 damage a turn. Oh my god, it's more like 5 damage a turn. Can we play both of these? How much is this math? 12? We only have 11. Let's try to take down his biggest unit, and this will also flip our Kalista. She can't block given the current state of his board. So that could be good for, I don't know, 11 damage?
My pretty.
Maybe we should have sacrificed off to Curse Keeper, but
Anything else?
11. Oh, gotta fade this for 2 turns. We're never winning this game. Okay. That's us. We threw this.
Hunt down.
3. Okay. All right. One time, dealer. We can do this. We can do it.
I'll scout ahead.
Watch him have suit up. That's the way this situation typically goes.
See towns, towns, and everything in between.
All right. I don't know what our chances are winning this one, but it's not going to be that high. Yeah, we're done. The saved match already came up, and so that was our fault. We had plenty of blockers on the board. We could have reasonably just blocked everything that he had. We knew that the only way we were going to lose was to a Teemo, and we had the Spirit Fire, and then we still just played a bunch of shit we didn't have to play. That was a little sloppy. That was completely on me. But we gotta move on. We're over it already. So with these, I could see picking up a second Vengeance. We do have the Crumble, so we have 1 Crumble, 1 Vengeance, 1 Ether Fiend, and then 2 Siphoning Strikes. I think that's a little too much, so we'll skip over that one. I'd rather have Fading Icon than Warden's Prey, and I don't want Raz. Well, I want Raz, just not for Ether Fiend, and so we'll skip over that one. So weird. It's not an excuse. It's just such a weird sequence for him to actually turn up that Teemo there. Definitely got us. I feel like realistically what happened was he started playing cards and then he played the he played the Zonite Urchin and actually cycled into Teemo and was like, oh, surprise, I guess I'll play this. That's how that actually kind of felt, but we had the answer and didn't play around it. Okay, not a fantastic start. Got a ton of 2s. Maybe we'll pick up a 2 here.
Coming in hot!
Alright. Not enjoying this as much as I was.
Something for 'em!
Not a good start. Ugh. So I think we just add Kalista. And then pass. We're not going to attack with her. I mean, we have a second one. We could just attack with her, but I think we're going to have to slow this game down. I assume this Noxus Bilgewater deck is actually going to be pretty low to the ground and being fairly aggressive. And so I think we're going to be like throwing away 1 Kalista for sure. But we might find ourselves in this spot to where he plays like a 2-3. We can just come in and take her down. This is fine.
Who's gonna get in my way?
Your death has been ordained.
Okay.
Mwah.
A worthy end.
Where you at, Merciless Hunter? Actually, let's restart with another Kalista. See if he plays something to Weight of Judgment. See if it just kind of changes any of the cards that we want to play as far as our Merciless Hunter is concerned. Did not. And here, I think we just need to spend our mana. So it's not an exciting target hitting the Island Navigator, but I don't want to just let that go.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
Hey, get to attack with Kalista here. Never know. He's probably just going to play some kind of random 6/5, but it's just a bunch of Bilgewater. Good chance he doesn't have a unit that'll fit.
Behind a mask.
That's right. Run! Hunt down.
Oh, I thought that was going to be like a Noxus Blast. And I was like, oh no, this is brutal. It's weird that he played his double trouble with this sparring student on the board.
I sharp as my spear.
Alright, so how can we get the most out of this turn? We're losing Kalista. That's happening. We have 8 mana. I mean, I think we're going to have to say, like, play Merciless Hunter. Who do we want to hook? And then we're going to have to try and follow up with the Bakai. And so if we can actually get a... if we can get a Slay, like if we get a trade on Kalista, this might actually be okay. Gonna Guile something. Not sure if he's gonna actually open on us. Oh, hang on, shit, we can't play that guy anyways. Got Spirit's Journey. Okay. So it can at least block now.
Swim quickly, little fish.
Oh, that's good. We can block the 5-1. Beautiful, beautiful.
This one's a fight.
If this game goes long, then we're fine. And so I was really afraid that we were just going to get bombed for like 9 damage there. That's good. Good.
We each died, then found
Puts 2 units on the board, and maybe we can get a Bakai going next turn.
Let's make this a night
Got
to
it.
remember.
Still awkward. I'm not excited with the amount of awkward that this hand is, but
Contest the Bakai.
still make this work.
Nothing to lose.
He's gonna get a stun somewhere. I have to imagine he just has like more cards after this. Like, I'm fine to throw away our Kalista and our Bakai, but wow, nothing else? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful.
Know your place.
Fantastic for us. Alright, we can wait a turn before we Rite of Calling. But we have Kalistas left? Or have we drawn them all? Oh, huge in the grasp. Where are we at? We're out of Kalistas, so we're going to be drawing Nasus with the Rite of Calling. No idea how much Slays we have, but it's probably like 5, maybe 6 now. Okay, let's do this.
Domes, towns, and everything in between.
Maybe he plays like another, 4-3 Overwhelm when we get to grasp it, but... Okay.
That light flickers.
Oh, he likes you.
Good, good, good. They're looking up.
Be free, Glow.
Weaken up this bro. Alright, alright, we're feeling better. Did have more Kalistas. Maybe he got weirded out because of the Rekindler. Ugh. He plays the Misfortune before he attacks, right? So let's go ahead and get Kalista down.
We shall pierce their treason.
I think we have to kill the Siren here.
Fortune favors the bold.
Look alive. Captain's here.
We can deal with this Kalista in due time.
We right this wrong.
Or deal with his misfortune. That's not a Kalista.
My desert, my
Okay.
rules.
We don't lose our Kalista, right? Nope, looks good. Now we can also write a calling for Nasus and we won't lose any mana.
Of a fair fight.
Okay, okay. Still feeling better about it. The amount of good, it keeps like creeping up and up and up. But I'm sure opponent's gonna have a way to just crush our soul at some point after we've climbed our way out of this. Where you at, my man? 17-17? That's a lot more than like a +5.
One fight for glory. I fought for legacy. Judgment awaits. Is this the death you imagined?
Alright, so he's gonna get that spell shield. That could be particularly important in a world of Noxus having like scorched earths. But I think we may be okay now. Feeling much better. Still want that atrocity. Come on, game. Where's atrocity? That makes life a lot easier when you just throw 19 damage right at the face.
I keep step with the heartbeat of
But
Noxus.
I want to add the fading icon. This is looking pretty good now. We got sacrificable unit for our ether themed. Can't flip his misfortune here. Have a removal. Oof. Oof. Oh boy.
Remember why we fight.
Your spirit is hollow.
Is there a punish for just grasping this misfortune and not putting a unit in front of it? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Whew. All right. I think that one definitely could have gone differently if opponent chose a more aggressive strategy. It was good that he chose more of a value-based play as opposed to an aggressive play. That was me. You'd have seen like, oh, bust slamming in for that non-damage whenever it's up here. But all right, let's get ready for this final battle. So, happy enough to get rid of Wraithcaller. We're never hitting this Allegiance, and Glimpse Beyond is reasonable. I'd rather that been a Spirit Bleach, but you know you can't have it all. Here, we don't need any more Rampaging Bakais. We have 2 copies already. I think that should be good. I want to hang on to our 1 Glimpse Beyond. I'm actually okay with trading out the Stalking Shadows, but I would rather have like 1 more card advantage card, so I'm going to hang on to it. I'd rather have Ether Fiend than Rasa. I don't want the Remitter for Cursed Keeper, and hanging on to Vengeance. We'll skip that. We have 2 Siphoning Strikes, which is enough. One Spirit Fire is enough. Don't want Wraithcaller. Those are all easy skips. And our last one. Would we like to trade out Glimpse of Beyond for a second Rekindler? I'm kind of on board with this. For other choices, Chronomancer not necessary. Splinter Soul don't want. If I'd known we were getting a second Rekindler, I definitely would have traded away that that random draw 2. But I think this is okay. But good. It's too good when we have these Kalistas. So, alrighty, let's get to it. No atrocities, no blighted caretakers, but I think we can still do it. Let's see if we can't play a Spirit Fire on a spell shielded unit again. That's the way. All these people like, man, why can't I get to 7 wins all the time? Bust does it. He does dumb shit like that. I'm sure all my viewers get to 7 wins all the time. I'm talking about those other people. The other people aren't doing it. I mean, and realistically, at the end of the day, it just comes down to how many premiums are in your deck, and so don't forget that. Spend your money on the old the old riot skins. Up your play to the next level. You want a coaching session with FTP Bust? Here it is. Just make your cards premium. Oh man, I gotta get ready. I don't want to play against Porobot. Cancel. Try that again. I think it gets up to like 90 seconds or 2 minutes before the match puts you in against Porobot, but I like to play against the humans here. Give someone that grand opportunity to best FTP Bust in the final battle. Some dude playing Talia. Oh man. What are we in for? Let's see. We'll hang on to that. A little Curse Keeper and some Kalista. Not a bad start. like a little bit of that interactivity everyone's talking about, but there it is.
If it's made of sand, I can write it. What a
You're
shame
welcome to
for
hook.
you. Watch me.
Oh, declined. Okay. Then, I mean, here I think realistically, we're probably just gonna make the 4-3, and we're gonna pass. How do we feel about this? Kill an ally to draw a champion. Maybe we should have waited on this until we have Black Spear mana next turn, but this is also getting us like super close to flipping this Kalista. We don't have any vulnerables. Alright, it's not ideal, but
Move. Can't steer.
one away from flipping her with the Rekindler in our hand feels pretty good. Gonna be like Nasus Fist. Here it comes. Here it comes. I see you've put in the work into flipping your Kalista. Here comes the Nasus Fist. Whatever that thing's called. Not Nasus, Malphite.
History is whatever.
Ground Slam. Yeah, Malphite Fist. Okay.
Remember me, little one. Please.
He's gonna Ruthless Predator us. Nope. Beautiful. I think we just want to take the value attack onto his Naturalist, give him the option to block our Fading Icon, which he probably declines to do, and then, well, we can just Spirit Journey as well, right? We can Spirit Journey our Fading Icon to get another dude and flip our Kalista. Let's see what happens. Nasus Strike would be kind of awkward. Like, if he has the means to... Well, I think if he Nasus Strikes, we'd probably just let him kill Kalista, right? Just accept that the flip is more important. That's tough. Okay, so I don't think we have to worry about removal spells anymore.
They must all pay the price.
Okay, feels strong. Much strength.
Get our licks in.
Their treachery ends now.
Looking good. Gonna start acing these units. Even if he has the trick to get out of this or something, then we can still bring Kalista back with the Rekindler. Okay.
Taken.
Works for me. Chose to keep some board. Not that surprised. Interesting Rite of Calling. It draws Kalista and turns into more Black Spears.
You maniac!
They better watch out for me. Wah!
An ally. I think this is going to be good. Cycle these Kalistas back into our deck as well. I think we're fine. So that looks good. He doesn't have good attacks anymore, so I don't imagine he'll be doing much attacking here. I'm not, like, opposed to just dropping Nasus and having him get hit by Rolling Sands. You can, of course, always just bring him back with the Rekindler. It is one thing to note, though, if our Nasus dies, that the Rekindler is going to bring back Nasus, which is, you know, probably fine at this point anyways. Kind of scary when an opponent doesn't attack into him, though. Or doesn't add anything on this board. What would this be? A Spirit Journey? Spirit Fire is kind of awkward. Let's just hit with these. Oh, no, 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 we messed that up. I didn't realize the Naturalist was vulnerable. Got a little ahead of myself.
You should watch this.
This is fine.
I will run you
This is
over.
fine. Ultimately worried about him just having a combat trick to take down our Nasus. But knowing that that trick mattering involved it being with Earth Elemental, I wish that we would have just attacked with Nasus and hooked the Naturalist. I forgot this had vulnerable. But I think we're still fine.
Distance means so little when family means so much.
That's
Point the
wholesome.
way, and I'll make the way.
Distance means so little when family means so much. God, Talia. It's gonna double Rockfall us. It's gonna hit our Kalista, then we can just bring her right back with Rekindler. I did the mathematics and I'm okay with that. This one's tough. Let's add the Rekindler.
Return to us.
Oh. What? What?
Relax your
Oh, our Kalista got obliterated. Fuck. Fuck, fuck. Oh, man. Oh, we messed everything up about this. Everything that could go wrong about this turn has gone wrong. I thought we were going to have Grasp of the Undying mana to take Nasus up to 10. Oh, fuck. We punted this one. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Brutal. Brutal, brutal. We're still okay, but
We live in hallowed times.
Malphite. Probably just picked up Malphite. Probably only playing one Talia.
Last natural May buys me a new sail.
Alright, this has most definitely been one of my sloppier runs. Ugh. Okay. He's definitely trying to line up a Malphite with Overwhelm kill on his... Well, I can't. This takes a long time to level up. What? Why? Did he take his units off the board like this? I still think a Malphite's going to come down. He costs 6, right? 7? No, it's the next turn thing? Or does he did he draw a second Talia, and he wanted to get Talia 1 off of the board so that he could copy a Rockfall path or something? That would make sense. If he wants to say, like, play Talia, copy the Stasis statue, and then have, like, 3 Talias next turn? Are we lethal here? What does this bring in? 4 attack? So 4... We need to do it this way. And then I think we're going to see a Talia come down. But we've got lethal this way. So if he drew a Malphite, then he just can't play it. I assume he has to have, like, something in his hand to try to get him out of this. That was a really weird line to see him copy his Stasis statue without actually having a Talia in his hand. And so I think that's what's going to be happening here. Like, why wouldn't he just block with Talia and then Stasis statue in combat? I mean, we've got enough for lethal here. I just can't imagine we're ever lethal this turn. Okay.
Keep cheering.
That light flickers.
I have my man. Has to be a Malphite.
Too slow, stupid.
Has to be. I've done the mathematics on it. No idea.
We shall return.
Okay. I don't think there's too much we care about with stone weaving, but it's not created by stone weaving? Weird.
Turn the stones.
Okay, so do we have to just block you with... This takes us to 0? Oh, we can just block with Rockhopper? Okay.
Oh dear!
And we can try to just open with Fading Icon and kill next turn.
If I'm forgotten, then no.
Alright, fam. Let's see if we do it. Maybe. Oof. Alright.
We each died, then found home.
That gets us out of a lot.
Now
Looks like
we
he's
just
digging.
have to wait.
Yep.
I am gonna shake.
Okay. Alright, I think we've managed to navigate this one to the end.
There is Malphite. I am Malphite.
Our honor preserves you.
You fell for it.
Alright, team. Did we do it? Did we get there? We got there. Alright. Alright. Oof. So, admittedly, not the most graceful of runs, not the strongest we've ever done, but hey man, the important thing is having a good time while you're doing it, and good times were had. So I thought that was a pretty fun trial. A little sloppy, I agree. Not the the strongest play throughout, but you'll have that on occasion, you know. Don't beat yourself up if you get a little sloppy out there. Just make sure you're having a good time playing. So, trial complete. Let's get this pulled up here real quick. And so, yeah, I mean, this came together fantastically. The only real complaints that I had were we didn't... The hell? My God, my cat. I don't know what the fuck she just did. I think she was asleep and she like fell off this bookcase that's sitting behind me. But any rate, all right, back to this. And so yeah, like we would have preferred to have had an atrocity. You could definitely see those games to where Nasus was just lethal. And then we would prefer to have some Blighted Caretakers, since that's kind of the easy way to level up a Kalista, and it just works so perfectly with Cursed Keepers and Fading Icons. But as you can see with this trial, you know, we were good enough to get there in the end without having all of those cards. And so the way I, you know, always talk about these kill your own units kind of decks, that's what we knew we were going to be getting into fairly quickly, right? You know, when it comes to having Nasus Kalista, we knew we started with a Mist Wraith, so we knew that we might end up in Mist Wraiths. We canceled that out on that pretty quickly once we got this Fading Icon Merciless Hunter. So that leaves us in a spot to where we're either going to focus Fearsomes or we're going to focus Slay, and then we just decided to end up focusing on Slay. And so if you're in a deck focusing on Slay, or if they're like Afterlife Kalista, Retribution Kalista, Kindred, whatever you're trying to kill your own units with, the big thing we always talk about is having these sacrificial units for the early game. Our Fading Icons, our Cursed Keepers, and our Hapless Aristocrats that are non-existent here. Just the big things with that are, you know, we have the free unit to cast Rite of Calling on, we have the free unit to sacrifice a Blighted Caretaker. We had a bunch of random dudes just sitting around for the Ether Fiend or Spirit Leech. And then as far as like gameplay is concerned, if your opponent, you know, say you play a Warden's Prey and your opponent interacts with it, then you're out a unit. You can't play any more of your Slay cards. But if you have one of these kill off your own units kind of cards, you know, if you play in that same situation, played a Hapless Aristocrat, your opponent interacts with it, you still have that Spiderling left over. So you still have the means to continue doing what your deck wants to do. So ultimately, that's what we always talk about as being super important. Just picking up these early game plays, again, Fading Icon, Cursed Keeper, Hapless Aristocrat, and then just letting the activators fall to you. And so the only one of these sacrifice cards we really went out of our way to take was the Ether Fiend. And that's the way I usually like this. I would have been happy enough to pick up um, just Blighted Caretaker. We ended up with like a Glimpse Beyond. I thought maybe we traded it away. I don't know, but it's much easier to just like pick up the Slay activators than it is to have the units that you want to sacrifice off. They are always the most important part to be putting into your deck. But yeah, then otherwise after that, the thing I like to call out with this one is Shurima and um, Shadow Isle's top end is all garbage. And so you're really looking at either Ruin Runner, which is very good, or Scuttlegeist, which is a rare. Otherwise, you have things like Everglade Collector at rare, very good, but rare. You have things like Raz at epic. You have Ether Fiends at rare, Rekindler at rare. Like, you just don't have good common top end. And so you do need to make sure that you have something. That's why we went out of our way to pick up these Ruin Runners, just to make sure our late game wasn't non-existent. So the way, again, I kind of like to tier these off is like, tier 1 is getting your first vengeance. Tier 1.1 is picking up your sacrifice activators. Your tier 1.5 would just be removal spells. And in a deck like this, we do consider things like Merciless Hunter and Rockhopper to be removal spells. And then after that, just make sure that you fill in with a little bit of top end, sprinkle some more vengeances and crumbles in there. But that is going to do it for us today. I know we have some rewards because the old event pass came out here, so we got to start in on this. And this is a pretty dope event. We got the Professor Von Yip Kitty Cat. Always bitch that Riot doesn't release enough cat related little legends or whatever these things are called. So very nice to go ahead and pick that up. And then the Shyvana icon. The one thing I'm curious about is I did notice on the rewards here, if we scroll our way down to the very end, do get to pick up a premium Zed, which we already have. And so I don't know what happens with this. I was sure that if it's probably just going to turn to dust, right? I think that was kind of what happened with Azir when he was on the premium thing. If you already had Azirs, then they just kind of turned to dust at the end, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen with our Zed. But I think we should be getting, double bonuses since our Zeds are already premium. But yeah, it's nice to have these event passes up and running. We're not really, hurting for for dust, but if you're just getting into the game, this is a great way to pick up a lot of dust and wild cards and full cosmetics along the way. But I know out here we also have something. Looks like we got some kind of loot box. It's gonna be the unit. Taking the unit, my man. Ooh, Larned Bladekeeper. I guess technically we could take Preservarium since it sits on the board, but I just hate playing landmarks so much that I'm actually going to come over here and take the Bladekeeper. that's the way we look at this. I think that is going to do it for us today. So, oh, the event's flashy again. Did I miss one? Oh, Prismatic Rewards. Yeah. Gotcha. You all thought we were done. No, that is going to do it for us today. I hope you all, learned how to slay it a little bit better. You learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and thank you for being here.